Great, preparation leading into our last game, but also leading into this weekend game. I think our guys are doing a great job. Here we are in March, and March presents a lot of great things, great opportunities. Our league has been doing a great job, top to bottom. There's a couple teams in that bubble position that I think, in this last phase, these last three games, no different than last year, is just going to allow teams to kind of jockey for the position of the SEC tournament. There's no doubt about it. Nationally, we're doing a good job as a conference, but also as it relates to those teams that's on that bubble. With that being said, Ole Miss is one of those teams, and that they're going to come in here with a lot of focus, a lot of toughness, an unbelievable game plan, and we're going to do the same exact thing. So if you're out there listening, let's come out here, support our seniors, and we'll have senior day, but also make sure we come out here and give a home court advantage. The results hadn't been what we wanted it to be, but our guys are out there fighting, and they're giving their very best every opportunity they get. We had that tough road game, but we were right there at the end, and that's what we want to be. We want to give ourselves an opportunity, but at the end of the day, we got to come away in these close opportunities with a lead. I thought when we were down one against Florida, we had Nick Honor in the corner for a wide open three. We had Sean East for a layup to take the lead. That was a game we did not have the lead. I think those are plays we have to make and different things like that. But we got to do it collectively. We can't have one guy not perform at their very best because our margin of error is slim. And we got to have everybody, whoever gets their name called, prepared to make a contribution.
All right, questions?
Yeah, Coach, it seems like the team's never gotten discouraged through this losing streak that y'all have had. Why do you feel like that is? What is it about these specific players that's kept them motivated?
It's what we teach. It's what I concentrate on. I don't concentrate solely on just telling guys to be disciplined, do something repeatedly every day. I talk about how not to be conditionally disciplined based off the conditions, based off the things that happen around you. Then all of a sudden you want to be this disciplined. No, be it every single time. And during this moment, yeah, you can be discouraged, but you got to wake up every day giving your very best, and it starts with me. They hadn't seen me waver. They hadn't seen their leader, their head coach, blink in this time frame, and I'm not going to. I'm not gonna, do something that I've not always done. I've trained myself a certain way to wake up every day and get the job done, right? Not the results, but the job. The job requires you to stay in the journey, stay in the moment. It may be difficult, but I'll tell you one thing, there's something that's being taught. Don't blink. Allow yourself to see what's being taught, absorb what's being taught. And right now, we got to understand they're giving their very best regardless of what is going on in their lives, off the court, and different things like that, because in preparation, one day they are going to be husbands, they're going to be fathers, they're going to be leaders, they're going to be CEOs, they're going to be somebody. Who are and what are we teaching? And the only thing I know how to teach is be consistent in what you're doing, be confident in what you're doing, and go out and give your very best.
Dennis, in the stretch, are there any new challenges that you've been presented with that you haven't seen in your head coaching career?
Stretch as it relates to what?
This run since January.
No, I'll have to examine the totality of it at the end of the season. That's kind of how I operate. But more importantly, I would say this. I'm curious off any other team that probably has had five surgeries in season. I'm curious about that. That's a tough thing when you look at obstacles. But again, our job, we still put on a jersey. We still got to go out there and produce. And right now, we hadn't done that, and we're going to keep trying.
Coach, for the three freshmen, I know they've had very different seasons to this point, but now with all of them back, it looks like Trent is back. Just over the last couple of weeks, what do you want to see from each of them to build some momentum?
I want to see fire in their eyes. That's what I want to see. I don't want that to be dimmed. I don't want it to be taken from somebody. I want them to continue to give their very best. each and every last kid has gone through their obstacles. No one's worried about their obstacles that they got to go through, no matter if it's losing a loved one, no matter if it's injuries, no matter if it's something that we all have a responsibility. I'm going to be there for our guys during those moments. I'm going to put my arm around them. I'm going to cry with them. I'm going to sit there and smile with them, but I'm not going to let them feel like they're out there on the island going through these things by themselves, because that's what young people can do. They can think they're the only one that's being thrown an obstacle. No, I want to teach them how to get through it. Jordan Butler's doing a tremendous job. Ant Robinson's doing a tremendous job. Trent Pierce is doing a tremendous job. And those guys, they have a fire in their eyes. They have a fire in their belly that they're trying to get through every obstacles. And now when you're forged through the opportunities, you're forged through the fire, your future, it can look bright because you have a foundation that's been through something. So I'm looking forward to what I'll see, not today from them, but tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but next season. Not next season, but throughout their careers. And as long as they hold tight to the foundation, they'll be okay.
And how would you kind of evaluate Trent Pierce's, first minutes back since late January?
Well, first I'll examine this, how he got through that ear infection that required surgery, right? You have to understand, you looking at that kid's eyes, there's not one day that went past that he didn't want to be here. I told him after his procedure, we'll drive you down to Arkansas versus flying, because I didn't want the altitude and the cabin pressure to get to him. He said, Coach, I'm getting on the plane. He wouldn't let us take him via car away from his team. He wanted to practice and had been practicing up until that moment. But again, when you see a kid with 10 stitches from the top of his ear all the way to the bottom of his earlobe, fight through it with no blinking, that's just the obstacle he's been facing. And when you face obstacles, you grow. And when you grow, you have a carrying capacity to carry a load larger than what you were before that incident happened. So I'm thankful for who he is as a person. I'm thankful for his parents. I'm thankful for, his tenacity. I'm thankful for his resilience. And I think it's going to allow him to continue to grow as a young person.
Coach, you talked a little bit about it on Wednesday, but just how important is the Rally for Ryan game, not just to this program, but also to the community as a whole?
Well, I have nothing but respect for Brad Luce, his family. Obviously, that Rally for Ryan is a tremendous community thing. It was here and started before I got here, and I'm going to continue that tradition of supporting it, and that's what we're doing right now. There's different ways you can support rallies. There's different ways you can support pediatric cancer or Coaches versus Cancer. Coach Nutt is going through it right now. We love him, but we got to understand the most important part in the fight is the encouragement and the support, letting people know they're not in it by themselves, and that we're right there by them. But our community, there's many young kids, many people going through something right now, and this is an opportunity for us all to rally for a greater cause beyond Ryan, but also support Ryan and using a platform that the Luce family has been able to provide this community and institution with.
Coach, I don't know if we'll talk to you again before the senior day game, but just, the group is going to be participating there. What has it meant to you to work with them for this year or two, and for them to have chosen you and this program?
Well, I think whenever you have maturation and matriculation through your program, you want kids to leave in two ways. You want them to leave because the NBA has invited them to leave early, and you want them to leave because their eligibility is up, and obviously they've graduated. I think our guys are doing such. I think most importantly, it's a special group. It's a group that has been forged through a unfortunate circumstance. It's not the season that I've wanted. There's no doubt about it, but I'm not gonna sit here and look at my kids any different. I'm still proud of each and every last one of them for how they practice every day, how they're able to put on their uniform with pride, how they're able to still remain connected with their teammates, but also how they're still able to walk out unafraid of the support or lack thereof from our community. Our community is behind our kids, and our kids feel that, and we appreciate that from them. So it's a bigger thing going on that we're curious to see what else it is able to unfold. I think when you go through something, you have a bright future ahead of you, and you have guys that, you know, are looking at you a little bit different because your shoulders are still upright, your chin hadn't dipped, or you hadn't looked down. This group hadn't done that. And when you're able to do those things in a prideful way and walk the walk, talk the talk, it's easy for some people to say it. It's tougher for people to do it, and our guys are doing it every single day. And that's what I'm proud about. I'm proud of our leadership, our board of curators who have been supportive. I'm proud of our president who has been supportive. There hadn't been a phone call that I hadn't received that hadn't been of support. And, you know, again, our administration, our leadership has done a great job.
One last question.
Coach, with you know, we talked to Sean before you came on. Where have you seen him specifically grow the most during his 2 years here?
Well, Sean, you know, you have to understand he went to a couple schools beforehand before he started his junior college career, but I've seen him trust more from his teammates, from his coaches, being in the same place for the first time in 2 years in his college career. And it's not about where the reason he left, because all of them are for different reasons. The last one was because he matriculated through the junior college ranks as National Junior College Player of the Year, coming right back to reset his Division I career. And he's done a tremendous job. His work ethic is unwavering. His consistency, his ability to physically get contact on drives and get to the free throw line, his shooting ability, his passing ability. I've seen him grow more from a leadership standpoint, talking, challenging his teammates in a healthy way, and being able to paint them all with different brushes without understanding the age, the height, position, or whatever they're going through can be a deterrent. And I've seen him sort of morph into who that person need him to be able to convey that message effectively. So Sean East has grown in a exponentially fast pace. His basketball is, you know, just beginning in my eyes. You know, you look at his stats, he's an unbelievable competitor, man. He wanted to go first today as it relates to media simply because he didn't want to miss his 12 o'clock yoga class. Think about that. A kid says, "Coach, can I go before you?" I said, "Why?" "I don't want to be late for yoga. I don't want to miss yoga." Go ahead, man. You're on your routine. And that's what we see. We see routine, but we see results. But the Sean East we see right now is not the Sean East that started at UMass or the Sean East that was at Bradley, the Sean East that was at Logan College. This is a guy that has allowed his coaching staff to push him, the environment to raise him a little bit, and he's part of our Como community. And I think, you know, he loves Louisville, don't get me wrong, but this is home for him. He doesn't go home for Christmas breaks. I mean, after the Illinois game, his parents are there. He drives back with the bus to Como while his parents go back to Louisville. And he could easily, so when you look at that, it's a kid that loves this place, loves this institution, loves the people, loves the support. He's a kid that I think will always call this place home.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, MIZ.